This is the Elements of Spirit reading for the element of air for the week of January 30th, 2017. The air readings are for Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We just entered into Aquarius, right? Yeah. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, sun signs. Suit of the mind, element of the mind, element of clarity. Let's see what comes up for element of air today. Yeah, so interesting. It's like stillness. I'm just feeling still air, still, no breeze. In its purest form, air is not space. We think it's space, but in its purest form, air still exerts pressure. And we just spent like a whole ether reading talking about stillness in the center and clarity of perspective. And it's so funny. I'm really not like slipping off into trance. I'm trying to see what comes through, and there's just this massive stillness that happens. And the idea here is this is like a meditation suggestion for this week to look at a tree, look at a leaf, look at a something that's earthy, and watch it as it moves. But more importantly, imagine the air around it still, not moving. It's very peace-inducing, guys. Okay, so the idea is this is like a gazing meditation. This is to help you focus, right? And the idea is you can do it with a candle. I may have suggested this months ago, but if you look at the candle, typically I would tell you to focus on the fire and just stare at the fire and watch it flickering and watch it moving. But the idea here is to, look at the candle. But more importantly, imagine the air around the candle very still, even as the candle is moving. And the idea here is that if you give your mind free rein, it will never stop. Urge your thoughts to stop. Remember, you control your mind. Your mind, most of us, the mind controls us, but you control your mind. Your consciousness controls your mind, and hypnotists will tell you this, and guided meditation works like this. There's some part of you which is able to tell your mind what to do. Suggestion, verbal cueing, right? There's a practice that I do. There was a practice I developed several years ago called IET, Intentional Expansion Therapy, in which we use verbal cueing to set energetic intentions that are geared along the lines of getting what you want, manifesting. And the idea is that you would say something like, okay, on the next inhale and exhale, on the next hum, we did a lot of humming. The next time I hum, all of the intentions that we've just set in this whole session will be activated again. So let's say the intention was for balance. If your mind is going no balance, but if your consciousness trumps it and says, "Oh God, I can't use that word anymore," but your consciousness, I can. Namaste. If your consciousness steps in and trumps your mind by saying, on the next time I hum, all of the energetic centers in my bodies will be aligned into a state of balance, including my mind, my mental body. Maybe I'm not thought free. Maybe I'm not perfectly relaxed, but simply by willing it and by cueing it and by setting that intention, my mind obeys. The mind is a wonderful student, but a terrible master. It will listen to you, but you have to remember to override its authority. So interesting. And it's like based on the ether, first message from the ether was all about, asserting the authority of your perspective, asserting the authority of your consciousness over your mind. There's guidance here, you guys, that just says, do this as needed throughout the week. It can be really that simple too. I'm going to give you an affirmation at the very end of this, but it can be as simple as, I set the intention that the next time I take a deep breath in and hum, my mind will find balance, period. And moment to moment, your mind might lose balance again 5 minutes later. But the idea here is that you've got to be reining in the sort of monkey jumping of your mind this week in order to assert the authority of your perspective, thank you, ether reading, before making changes, before taking actions, okay? Okay, great. Love it. Authority, affirmation. I am the master of my mind. 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 We like that because that affirmation's like, don't get it twisted. I am the master of my mind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Air breathers, mouth breathers. No, air breathers. Thank you, air, for this reading today. We'll see you next week.